What is up, fight fans? I am Jason Burgos, and for this episode of Back Talk, I am joined by a UFC veteran who will be headlining Saturday night's LFA 103 event against Batsumberel Dagvadorj. I dare you to say that 3 times fast, people. And that man I speak of is the one they call the Alpha Ginger, aka Spike Carlyle. Mr. Alpha, sir, thank you for this time. Just days before your return to the LFA, you've gone full circle and come back to the LFA.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, Mr. Burgos. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Now, I definitely have a lot of questions on what took you from being a UFC fighter in November to being now an LFA main eventer in March. First, when you lose your second fight in the UFC, another decision loss that moved you to 1-2 in the promotion, did you think it was at all possible you could be released? It's not like you were stormed and knocked out in the first round. We all have a beef with COVID-19, but are you even more pissed with it, feeling like if the UFC doesn't lose that extra money they probably would have gained because of the pandemic, you probably don't get released? Am I crazy to think that?
Yeah, I definitely, it was a little bit of a surprise to me. I thought I had a pretty good following, and everyone seemed to like it when I fight. So I always have entertaining fights.
Yep.
So yeah, it was a little strange, but after I found out what it was for, it made a little more sense to me. So
now going to that idea of FU COVID, when you also see legendary names like Junior Dos Santos, Alistair Overeem also get released, does it just boost you up that much more, maybe further confirming you had bad luck, cost-cutting, victim, not performance-related, and that you truly do have value because you weren't a free agent very long?
Yeah. I think obviously it's a little different, my situation, compared to those bigger names. They're a little bit older at the tail end of their career. True. I'm sure they're getting paid a lot more than I was at the time. Yeah, true. So I don't think I cost as much as those guys. So the little difference, but it's it is what it is. So it's all good.
So now let's talk about your very public proclamation of wanting to go to Rizin, which I really digged, but also probably isn't like the best move in terms of negotiating better pay when you say, oh, I want to go there. That said, explain like the deep love to compete in Japan. I would assume it's pride related, but also why did a move going there not happen? Did conversations ever start between your management and them?
So like you said, pride related. Since I was 15, the whole reason I got in the sport was pride. I saw that. I was like, that's what I want to be when I grow up. So still has always been in my heart. I love the culture over there. I've visited over there. I love the people, and also the rule set and the fans, and it's just and the entertainment factor. I think it's going to fit a lot better with me. Yep. As far as pay goes over there, I know they have their big their tournaments, and I'm sure those will pay well. And also, I want to be like a superstar over there. I want to be in commercials over there and acting and that kind of stuff. So I think there's a lot of sponsorship opportunities outside of just the ring or octagon.
But did your management ever talk to them? Was there ever a thought that might happen, or from early on it didn't seem likely?
Yeah, I've been talking to, actually before I even got signed to the UFC, I was in talks with them, and I've been talking to the matchmaker over there. Unfortunately, right now, because of the situation, travel is completely shut off. They're not allowing or signing foreign fighters right now. So, but they're supposed to have a meeting, I don't know, any week now. So that might reopen up now that the testing has switched a little bit. So it's good for me. So I know they still plan to do the Olympics there and stuff. So hopefully I'll be in there by this year.
So is this LFA thing a one and done? Is it a multi-fight deal? Is it like after a few fights you'll think about free agency again, or this is just one fight for now?
Yeah, it's kind of just it's a one fight deal, and it's just more to get back in there and remind people of who I am and what I'm about and what I bring. My last 2 fights were at featherweight, or one was at catchweight 150, the other was at featherweight, and I think I had some health complications dropping down that low, so this is at 55, so I feel very healthy and can't wait to go in there and put on an incredible performance.
And that's interesting. A lot of people will look at this because LFA is, without a doubt, a high level organization, but they
Mhm.
promote themselves on being this like NCAA of MMA to send people to the UFC and Bellator. But that's not necessarily a thing for you. It's not like people are going to think, oh, he's going to LFA. He probably wants to go right back to the UFC, sort of like Brandon Moreno did. He got released, went to LFA, back to UFC. But that's not the
Yeah.
case for you, and that's interesting. But also, I wanted to ask, since Rizin is still a possibility, since let's say travel is still an iffy thing for a little bit longer, is Bellator? You mentioned you'd be interested in them because they have that relationship with them.
Yeah.
Also, what about PFL? PFL smaller roster but pays very well. Was
Yeah.
PFL an option too?
Yeah, PFL would be very interesting as well. I have one of my brothers, Bubba Jenkins, is in the featherweight
Yep.
division at the tournament, so I definitely wouldn't ever want to fight him, So that would do it. But maybe at lightweight. But I think by the timing just didn't work. They already had their roster set, so not at least not for this season. But yeah, I definitely make a lot of money in PFL as well.
Yeah, for sure. So for this LFA return fight, you get what I believe is your first headlining main event fight as a professional so far. You face off with one half of LFA's Fight of the Year in Dagvadorj, and you will move up to lightweight, like you just mentioned, while he's coming down from welterweight, which is interesting. You guys are meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
You kind of alluded to already the move to lightweight, feeling healthier. Give me some more depth on what's the differences for you in featherweight to lightweight. Is it like, can you eat more? I've heard different fighters when they move up, they had to eat less in one way. Move up, they could eat more. Is it just energy level? Had really difficulties, obviously, weight cutting. And is it a long-term thing, or you want to see how it goes, and then if it goes very well, maybe it is a long-term thing?
Yeah. So when I was an amateur, I fought at 170.
Oh, okay.
But obviously those were a couple of the times they were day before, but most of the time it was same day weigh-ins.
Mm-hmm.
So my walking around weight's pretty high for a featherweight. I got some tests done, and pretty much like if I'm to go to featherweight, I need about 12 weeks to do it in a healthy manner, and I can't really be as active as I'd like.
Yeah.
And so I think the last 2 times I've tried to make the cut, I didn't give my body enough time, or actually the last time I was on weight for longer than I should have been, and that resulted in me not being able to sleep those last 2 to 3 weeks, and and just feeling like junk for the last 2 to 3 weeks. I ended up getting really sick after the weight cut, and I didn't tell anyone. So that was a good learning lesson for me.
Yeah. And that's not unheard of. I mean, the same thing happens with Cody Stamen. Like, he needs really long training camps to do the same kind of process too. Now, Dagvadorj is another example that these Mongolian fighters are tough. Now, his fight with Mendonça was a war. He has been a finisher throughout his short career. However, aside from his toughness, do you see a lot of dangerous skills you have to be careful with? Or in facing a UFC level talent like you, is he stepping up in competition, and you think you may show that on fight night?
Yeah, I definitely believe, I train with some of the best fighters in the world, and I didn't see at least anything in his recent fights that would surprise me or throw me for a loop. So I plan whatever he brings on Friday night, I will be casted down. So, I don't really see, and I think also this is a huge step up in competition levels for him. So the pressure isn't on me, that's for dang sure.
Now, I mean, every fighter has to have confidence, but every fighter has to be, wary of the opponent, take them seriously and stuff like that. But since you mentioned those kind of things, step up competition. Also, this is just one fight, so you're still gonna be a free agent after this. You still want to strengthen your value in a way. Would you be disappointed if you don't get a finish, especially or first round finish? Do you feel like you need to have a really good performance, not just in general, but boom, take yourself back into free agency again?
Yeah, obviously we always hope, I'm prepared for a war, but hoping for a swift and decisive battle. But I'm not getting paid anymore to be in there, so if the finish comes in the first round, second round, or third round, we'll take it. But I definitely don't want to be so gung-ho for the finish that I end up costing position or exhausting myself. So, so I'm just going to do my job, and if the opportunity presents itself, we'll go for the kill.
All right, so on interviews now, I'm going to try to do a little something different. I want to have some fun with you, and we're going to do trivia. Now, since you are the alpha ginger, I'm going to give you trivia on a ginger theme. We're going to see the level of ginger knowledge you have. Now, okay, so first question. This famous ginger is one of the top actresses in Hollywood, starring in films like La La Land, Zombieland. She was in The Help. Who is this actress, Spike? Is it A, Brie Larson, B, Emma Stone, C, Meghan Markle, or D, Anna Taylor-Joy?
I think it's B, Emma Stone.
Yes, you are right, Spike. We've got 1 point on the board. All right, number 2. This 1988 film, now I'm hoping you saw it. I know you're a young buckaroo, so you might not have seen this. Now, this 1988 film featured a wacky white rabbit that was being framed for murder. The standout ginger in the film is his very busty wife, the one and only Jessica Rabbit. What is the name of this movie?
Is it Who Shot Roger Rabbit?
Close. Who framed Roger Rabbit? I will give you the point, Spike. Excellent. 2 out of 2 now. Okay, number 3. Got 2 to go. This English ginger sang hit songs Thinking Out Loud, The A-Team, and Shape of You. That ginger's name is 1. A.
Oh, man. I'm the better looking version of him. It's Ed Sheeran.
Do you? Yes! All right. 3 for 3. Killing it. The ginger knowledge is unstoppable. Now, last question. This is going a little old school, but this is You Are Alive at this time now. Jerry Halliwell was the ginger in this famous all-female pop quintet in the 90s, having hit songs such as Wanna Be, Spice Up Your Life, Name That Pop Group. 5 women.
Spice Girls.
Yes! 4 for 4.
Too easy, man.